Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Tika the Cosmic Witch here. I know it's been a while since I've sent you guys a video update, but with Mercury retrograde being in Scorpio, I was actually having my Mercury return this time around for the Mercury retrograde, which I actually didn't even realize until resetting my own birth chart. So yes, the downloads that I have been receiving, the traveling that I have been doing at night, like you guys, I barely slept all Scorpio season. Like, I don't even know how I'm even here to even deliver this message to you guys because it has been so tough. Not exactly a tough cycle. Yes, I learned a lot this Mercury retrograde. Like, wow, I learned a lot. And because it was my Mercury return, I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know if I should have been expecting something bad to happen or something good to happen. I was kind of just like waiting and waiting and waiting for something to happen. And then I obviously in the last 5 days of the actual retrograde, I realized, oh, this is what I was supposed to be doing this whole time. Oh, now I understand. And then the bigger picture came to me and I was like, aha, I understand now. So yes, Mercury has gone direct as of yesterday at 7:11 p.m. That is Eastern Standard Time. Yes, 7:11, that is not like a joke. That's actually when it went officially direct for those of us who are on the East Coast in the Eastern Standard Time zone. So yeah, if you guys didn't complete your rituals from the night before on the 19th, like it is mentioned in your Mercury retrograde kits, that is okay. I did not complete mine on the 19th, but I definitely did a lot of traveling, and I did write down my dreams from that night before because it was very intense. Now, you can still complete your rituals tonight because Mercury did just go direct last night. So definitely complete them tonight or even into this weekend still. There's no wrong time to do it, but I would say definitely complete the closing ritual before the shadow period is done, which is going to be continued until the end of November essentially. So yes, Mercury is direct now, and yes, that's really great for us. But at the same time, we also have to remember that we are still in the shadow period, and so things can change. There can still be some tricky lessons that are still being learned for us, okay? So this video, I am going to do a minor, card pull for us, but I won't be going very deep with the cards like I normally would for you guys because this is supposed to be a Mercury retrograde direct video, and so I really want it to be focused on how to work with the astro shifts that we're seeing right now. And there are a lot of shifts, you guys. There are so many shifts. I almost forgot how many shifts we were having from this past week and the week coming up. The week coming up especially, okay? So because I've been really unplugged from my computer and from my business, I really just took time to really just be with myself, which was really hard. I have a really hard time with not overworking myself and feeling bad about it. So it was really hard. But first and foremost, we have Mars now in Scorpio, which just happened on Tuesday, okay? So if you're watching this now, it is now Thursday. And so yes, Mars was in Scorpio as of Tuesday. So we have that shift coming up. Venus is going to be going into Capricorn at same day as the new moon in Sagittarius, okay? Neptune will be going direct very soon, which I'll be talking about in another video. There's a lot of stuff going on, you guys. So yes, I will cover all of that. But because there's a huge shift going on, I really want to talk about the aspects of the shift because it is a lot of things to receive. It is a lot of downloads that I will be giving to you guys and sharing. But it is for your best interest. Now, again, Mercury retrograde is supposed to be a time for you to go within yourselves, deeply inside within, and look for those answers yourself. So again, I won't be pulling a whole bunch of cards like usual. I highly recommend and suggest that you go and receive your Mercury retrograde kit. It's only $5. If you're in the US, it's even cheaper than that, okay, for you guys, because your dollar is stronger than the one that's in Canada. So go ahead and get your kit so you can do your closing ritual. The spread is really intense. I received a lot from it. I've been talking about it with a couple of friends, and it's been really intense. So yeah, you'll receive a lot from these spreads, you guys. And be sure to actually go back and check your previous spreads from the opening ritual to see what's really has changed, and look back to see what your cards have told you were going to learn versus what you actually did learn or what you actually received. Okay, So I do have the chart in front of me right now, so I will be just directly looking at it and telling you guys what I'm seeing for us. And yeah. Okay, so first and foremost, the moon right now is still trine to Saturn and Uranus and Pluto as of Mercury going direct. And this is an aspect that I've seen in the previous update I gave you guys about the week ahead. So this energy is still very much so present. Now, when Mercury did go direct, the moon was sitting in the third house, which is naturally ruled by Gemini. So, and it was actually, and the moon was in Virgo as well. So, of course, the moon was in Virgo because we had Mercury go direct. So, the moon was in Virgo and it was sitting in the third house, which is already ruled by Mercury, Gemini, and it was in Virgo. So, there's this massive shift of communication and truth and releasing the lies and really speaking up. Now that your throat chakra has been unblocked, now that you've been, observing all this time, you've been looking around, journaling, meditating, really sitting with your higher self and really discussing, the deep conversations, the shadowy conversations that you didn't want to have, and finally releasing that truth and embracing that truth for what it is and welcoming it with pure, highest intentions and only those intentions. Now, with the trine to Saturn and Uranus, what I'm seeing as well is this idea of self-improvement and it being really quick. So like us kind of like waking up now and like almost like as if we've been counting down the days to Mercury's direct and now being ready to just start working. Just really getting ready to work and be like, hey, I'm ready, let's go. What's next? What do I do now? Like we are all very excited, I'm feeling, and it's so good because I know it's because of the Sagittarius season coming up, and so that's really great. But in the sense that we are all very much so ready to move and move forward, and the cosmos are supporting that as well. The next shift is going to be very quick. It's going to do a lot of self-improvement, of course, and it's going to be very, very fast, and it's going to also be, yes, the shift will happen quickly, but it's going to make long-term results for you. It's going to be very grounding. It's going to be very, very satisfying, but it's going to be a long-term change that it's going to be taking forth right now. It'll just happen really quickly, the shift, but it's going to affect the long-term goals for you. Now, I'm also seeing that with Mercury, we have a trine to Neptune still and to the North Node, okay? So with that, again, this is the time for us to really be doing a lot of dream work, really doing a lot of manifestation work, writing down your dreams, writing down your intentions for the new year, okay? This is something that I wrote in the blog piece for the Astro Update, the weekly download for you guys, and that is still very true right now. We're still being asked to share our dreams and start writing them down, because with that trine to Mercury, you guys, that is beautiful. And it doesn't happen very often. I know we've been blessed lately with this trine, so if you have any candle magic you want to work on or what have you, now is the time to do it, because, look at this energy. You can't go wrong with this energy. Like, this is the best time for us to really make a change, really making a change and really seeing things for what it is, and, allowing our dreams to become that reality and writing it down. And now that being said, be very descriptive about what you're writing down. Be very, very descriptive, okay? Don't miss out anything. I know your dreams, you're really excited to even talk about them because it just makes you so warm inside. But take your time to really dissect that dream and take it apart and really ensure that you're writing everything out as you see it, from the business, the store, the color of the walls, the shelving, the employees you have, the customers that you're welcoming in. If it's a health thing that you're trying to do, what foods are you eating? What foods are, nourishing to you? What do you look like in this? What are you wearing in this? All of those things are really important, okay? Now, of course, with the Pluto trine there as well, again, this idea of destruction and rebirth is really being pushed through. And when this was happening, actually, we're seeing a trine with Pluto and Saturn to Mercury actually happening in the 7th house at the time of Mercury going direct. So this could be essentially be our relationships being shifted. It could be our friendships being shifted, and this idea of, you know, tug and pull. The balance of the scales is coming back to us now, and so it's not a tough aspect per se. No, it's not a negative aspect per se, but there could still be some friendships, relationships, what have you, that are coming to an end right now or being birthed to anew so that everyone can better themselves in the situation, because it needs to change. Okay, those relationships have to change. We cannot continue our relationships the way that we have. We just had Mercury in Scorpio retrograde, which means that the way we socialize with other people and how it affects us and how it reflects who we are and how it affects how we see ourselves is very important. And so looking at how you value your friends, looking at how you value your family, what about those relationships have to change, or, you know, needs to be given, you know, more space to grow? And does that space require you to give some distance so that you both can grow, or does it require you to walk away and then come back maybe later after they've changed or what have you? Okay. Now, something I wanted to talk about, what I'm really excited about, and it's been happening for a couple of days now, I would say the last 2 days, is Venus and Jupiter are conjunct. And this is something that they have been saying is super rare and doesn't happen very often. And according to my phone, it shouldn't happen until tomorrow. Well, guess what, Brujas, Brujos? It's happening right effing now, okay? So this is like, oh my gosh, you guys, this is some really, 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 really intense, amazing energy. Sagittarius is where Jupiter sits right now. And same with Venus. Venus just went into Sagittarius recently. Well, not recently, but you know, it's been there for a while. But the point is, those two planets, first of all, Venus is about attraction. Venus is about abundance. Venus is about joy, harmony, love, abundance, wealth, right? Birth, fertility, new things, receiving new things. And then Jupiter, which is about massive abundance, massive, you know, gifts being brought, massive ways of downloads and knowledge being brought, traveling opportunities. So with these two planets together, what I am seeing is that massive abundance is what's coming on the horizon. And because we have that trine to Mercury with Neptune, it's just like really, really, really supporting that idea. Now, Venus is also trine to the moon and Jupiter. It's making a trine to Jupiter with the moon and Uranus. So with those planets as well, making a trine to the moon to Uranus, that's like saying, okay, yeah, we want this massive abundance, and yeah, it's gonna be really big, but it's gonna happen really quickly. The shift, you guys, is going to happen so quickly. I don't know what to say more besides get your asses aligned, because you guys, these aspects, this shift is like Christmas coming early, you know, like we're being given the chance to really make things anew and really make things the way we want them to happen in regards to our dreams, in regards to our reality. And it's really like, it's being supported so much right now by the stars. You can't mess this up. All you have to do is know how to work with this energy, okay? Now, one thing I did want to mention is that we do have some squares with Venus to Neptune. So again, make sure that you're still being realistic. Make sure that you're not overspending. Now that Mercury retrograde is over, you want to treat yourself, and Sagittarius season is happening, so you want to treat yourself because it's been so tough. Yes, do that, but don't overdo it. And if people are giving you conflict with the idea of you know, self-caring yourself, then cut them out because it's not necessary. Simple as that. Now, Neptune at the time was sitting in the 10th house, and Venus was sitting in the 6th house. So again, this idea of conflict to do with self-improvement and you know, not putting enough of your efforts and wealth and not investing enough in the things that are actually going to help you improve. And with Neptune sitting in the 10th house, naturally ruled by Capricorn, this is just really saying like, okay, listen, these long-term goals, they can really happen and they really can come through like in the next month, the next moon cycle that we have, they will really come through for you. but you need to ensure that you're attracting yourselves and investing yourselves in the right spaces. If you're attracted to things that aren't helping you or serving you, how can you break that cycle? And this is something that we should have learned already through Mercury retrograde, yes, but just because things are now being blessed through does not mean that deception won't come through either. Deception will still come through. Not everything that glitters is gold. And I know I said it a lot, but I have to say it because I know you guys know what I mean when I say that to you, okay? Yes, new things are coming through, but you don't need to say yes to everything. So ensure, especially because we are still in the shadow period, ensure that you are taking your time and you're not just running into things because they attract you. Make sure it's attracting you for the right reasons. Okay, make sure it's going to uplift you for the right reasons, not just something that's going to make you feel good in the moment and then you get nothing out of it. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay, now the last thing I want to talk about in terms of astro stuff, well, a couple things. So Mars is still square to Pluto. It's no longer square to Saturn anymore, but it is square to Pluto. And Jupiter is also square to Chiron. So with Mars square to Pluto, Mars was currently sitting, first of all, Mars is now in Scorpio. And it's square to Pluto, okay? Which is naturally ruled by Scorpio. So there's this conflict of, I know what I need to do, I know what I need to do, I know what I need to do in terms of my relationships to other people. I know what I need to do in terms of, you know, cutting certain people off and ensuring that I am doing what's best for me. But there's this conflict because this person is so good at making themselves feel good for us and making themselves look good for us, even if it's for a moment, you know, and we're having a really hard time breaking that habit. Now, Mars in Scorpio, it just happened on Tuesday, so there's that, but at the time of Mercury going direct, it was sitting in the 5th house, which is naturally ruled by Leo. So your ego, okay, your ego is really popping off right now, and your ego itself is telling you, I don't need to change that. I'm good. Like, no. Like, it's fine. Like, it's fine. It's cool. Do I really need to get rid of that? No, it's okay. No, it's not okay, honey. It's not okay. It's not. Okay? The things that are bringing you pleasure right now, it's just pleasing your ego. It's not going to please your higher self. So that conflict and that friction, that resistance that you are creating right now, it's not going to serve you, and it's going to bite you in the ass when it comes to your relationships and, you know, your wealth, essentially, because Mars is square to Pluto, and Pluto was sitting in the 7th house at the time. So that is ruled by Libra, which is ruled by Venus. So ensure that you're not just, you know, putting yourself in places that feel good but aren't serving you your higher purpose, okay? This is something that's still repeating and still being told to us through the stars right now as we get ourselves ready for the next shift, as all the planets go direct and become more aligned. This is what we're going to be working on, okay? So that is what I'm seeing for the stars, you guys, for the chart of Mercury going direct. Again, Mercury went direct as of last night at 7:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone. So it just happened. We're still going to be feeling the effects of Mercury going going direct. And we are still in the shadow period, so ensure that you're not just jumping into everything. Still dip your little toes in the water first before you dive in, okay? So do that. Now, I do have some cards here. I'm only pulling the Oracle decks today because my tarot decks were used a lot last night, and I don't want to go too deep with them in terms of a message because I want you guys to do your own deep internal work with the Mercury retrograde spreads I've created for you. They are there for you, so please use them because the answers, it's so complex, you guys, it's so deep. It would be almost like not impossible for me to pull something for the whole Coven, but I want you guys to have your specifics because Scorpio is all about that deep passion. So we need to ensure that we're going really deep with our findings and with our truths and with our questions, you know, asking all the questions we possibly can and ensuring that we are, you know, listening. Now, these cards aren't really talking to me a whole lot, so I will do my best to pull some stuff. I should pull these before I went on camera, honestly. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself, but it's cool. All right. Okay. Now, if you guys, if this video resonates with you, please go ahead and share it with your other coven, your friends, your family, all your loved ones, your cats, your dogs, your birds, your reptiles, everyone. Because, this shift, you guys, it's going to be really intense. And I've been saying that for a long time, I know, but it really is going to be intense. And we're not ready for it. Oop. So, I want you guys to be prepared. So, tag your friends, please. All right. Ooh. Wow. All right. So, I was asking Spirit, what is this theme that we're going to be seeing as the Coven, for the Cosmic Coven, after Mercury going direct? So, first and foremost, we have the full moon in Taurus, which we just had, which says that your dreams need a practical plan. Reverse waning moon, which is asking you, what do you need to release? The North Node telling us to step out of our comfort zone. We also have from the Goddess Oracle, compassion coming through. Wow, this card again. Cycles and rhythms. And Guardian. Okay, so what I am seeing with these cards, okay, yes, we know that our plans need a practical plan. Our dreams need a practical plan. We know this, yes, right? We know this? Okay, good. So your dreams need a practical plan. And so again, with the stars, with those conflicts of, the moon sitting in Virgo at the time, with the trines to Saturn and Uranus, that's the reality check. Say, okay, yeah, it's great that you have these thoughts and ideas, but they need a practical plan. And what does that plan look like exactly? How is it going to show self-improvement? How are you going to be evolving and not repeating the same nonsense as before? What is that looking like, and how is it different from what it was before? Okay. Now, cycles and rhythms. Again, Mars just went into Scorpio. So there's going to be some cycles and rhythms ending and beginning right now. So for those of you who have a lot of Scorpio energy like me, you want to ensure you're looking at your charts to see where Mars sits in your chart, what's in your first house, because as Mars goes into a new sign, we know that it's going to trigger those things in our charts. So look to see where Mars is in your chart, look to see what's in your first house in your chart, and Scorpio energy, well, we still have Mercury in Scorpio, we still have the Sun in Scorpio, and we just had Mars in Scorpio, so I don't think it's really necessary for you to look at your Scorpio pieces per se, but you can expect to see the theme of death and rebirth and destruction and recreation happening right now, where your Mars sits, okay? So that's what this is. And ensuring that you're not blocking your blessings, okay? Don't block your blessings. Do not block your blessings. The timing is right now, but it's not gonna happen again all the time. So make sure you're doing what you need to do. Now, with the waning moon saying, what do you need to release, reversed, is there something you need to release, or have you been releasing too much? What do you have a grasp on right now? What are you grasping onto in your 3D reality right now? Or are you still up on the 5D realm and not paying attention anymore? It's time to pay attention. It's time to get back on Earth and start doing the work, okay? So for those of you who really do need to release things, it's like you need to do it ASAP, because if you don't, it's going to, the thing that you need to release, the person, the thing, it's going to blow up in your face later on when things are supposed to be getting better, okay? So what do you need to release? And if you do need to release something, then do it. But if you've been trying to avoid that release and, trying to put it on the back burner and trying to avoid the confrontation, it's going to affect you in the long run. Now with the compassion card as well, do so with lovingness, okay? Sagittarius energy, yes, they can be very blunt. Hey, Sagittarius, I love you. But be compassionate, okay? Have compassion for yourself. And this is a big one, because with the things I had mentioned before, with, other people's values and us treating ourselves and ensure that we are investing in our higher selves and not just investing in lower vibrating behavioral patterns, This is really important, you guys, for compassion, because if you are truly practicing compassion for yourself, then there will be no need for you to, put yourself in those situations. If you're truly practicing compassion, there's no need for you to put yourself in those situations of, oh, well, I'm not sure if this is right or not for me. No, practice compassion for yourself. Does it serve you higher purpose or not? Yes or no? It's really that simple. We don't have to complicate it. We complicate it by thinking about other people instead of ourselves first. And so practicing compassion for yourself will ensure that you are putting your higher self first, and having compassion for that person, for that version of you, and saying no to things that don't serve that person. Okay? Step out of your comfort zone. So no time to hold back. It's time to move now. It's time to move now. And understand that you are protected. The divine is protected. I really like that this card is coming up, because this card, I didn't use the Goddess Oracle in my poll yesterday, but the idea of divine protection was very clear to me in my poll, which was really nice to see, of course. And so, with that being said, you guys, don't be afraid to cut these people off. Don't be afraid to cut this bad juju out. Okay, you are divinely protected. And your guardians, your ancestors, they've got your back. They support your decision, and they are saying, I know it's going to be hard, but this is what needs to happen, and it's okay. We have your back no matter what. Okay, so you really can't go wrong with this. You can't go wrong with making this decision. You just have to do it and push yourself to do it, and don't even look back. Just keep looking forward. Just keep swimming, and it'll all come through. Okay, so I'm gonna end the video there because I don't really have any other downloads coming in. I kind of got a lot last night, so that's pretty much it for this. I hope that this video made sense. If you are watching this, I thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are my favorite. I love you guys so much. Happy Mercury retrograde. Happy Mercury going direct. I hope that you receive all the blessings and abundance that you are putting your intentions and mindset to, and your heart into, and your spirit into. And thank you so much for listening. If this resonated with you, please go ahead and share that with your coven. Please. It's really important that we get people really paying attention as we get closer to 2020, because things are really going to start to pop off very soon. Okay, so please ensure that you are tagging your friends and your families that need to hear this message. And if you would like to have a deeper message for yourself, I can definitely complete the Mercury Direct spread for you in a reading if you'd like, but it's also there for you in my site. Okay, so you do have the option to also go ahead and do that. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.